Hello and welcome to Machad's Shooting Bench. Today we're going to talk about powder density and the differences between different types of powder. So as you can see, I've got two empty cartridges here. They've got the old spent primers in them, so we're just going to use these for demonstration purposes. But so we're going to discuss the differences in density between Hodgdon's HP-38 and IMR Trail Boss. HP-38 is like a general pistol powder. You use it to load. I use it to load 9mm and 32. I can use it to load 38 if I choose to. And Trail Boss is more of a revolver, Old West style cartridge powder because it's very bulky. And the bulkiness allows you to have not a lot of position sensitivity inside the cases. Because if you have a large case like a 357 Magnum and you only have powder up to here, well, when that case gets jostled around, the powder goes to the base of the bullet, and when that primer goes off, that flame has to travel down the case to actually get to the powder. So with Trail Boss, it tends to fill the case up all the way, almost to the top, or almost to the base of the bullet, so you don't have as much powder sensitivity as you would with something like HP-38. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to weigh out two charges of each powder with the same grain weight. So I think I'm going to do probably try to do 4 grains and then show you the difference between 4 grains of HP-38 as opposed to 4 grains of Trail Boss. So we'll put the tray up there, we'll tear that out. First, the Trail Boss. Okay, so we're at 2.2, almost up to 3. Now 3.5, 6, and we're almost at 4. Here we are, we're at 4. So there's 4 grains of Trail Boss. We'll put that in one of our spent cases. We'll set that back on there. We'll set that one right there. And then we will take some HP-38. As you can see, HP-38 is a much different powder style. It's a flake powder. So we'll see if we can get up to 4 grains here. And we're at 4. Okay. And now we'll put that in this case. So the first thing you're going to notice is the Trail Boss fills up the case much more than the HP-38. You can see the HP-38 in there just barely, and the Trail Boss you can see very easily. See how the level is just, it's very different, the levels of the powders in the cases. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump out the Trail Boss so you can see how much Trail Boss is in that case. And now I'm going to dump out the HP-38. Now, as you can see, the Trail Boss is much more bulky. I don't know how much closer we can get there, but if you can see, the Trail Boss is a lot more for the same grain weight. So that's just one of the pluses of Trail Boss. It's a really great powder. Also, one of the things I've read online is that most of the time when you're using Trail Boss, it would be very hard for you to double charge a case, because any charge that would be overload in any given case would most likely overflow and you wouldn't be able to load it. So Trail Boss is a really good powder for the beginner, because there's I'm not saying the risk isn't there, but the bulkiness of the powder definitely mitigates the risk of having an overcharge, because as you can see, you could very easily put 2 charges of HP-38 inside this case, whereas you're probably not going to get 2 4-grain charges of Trail Boss inside the case. Just for the hell of it, let's try that out. We'll take put as much of this back in here so we don't waste any. Actually, we'll just try this here. We'll put that there, tear it out, and then we'll do two scoops. That should give us about 8 grains. Okay, so we got 8.5 grains of Trail Boss, which would definitely be an overload. And as you can see, I cannot get that all the way, so I could not load this bullet. So clearly I cannot really have too much of an overload with this. So Trail Boss is really great for people who are just starting out and they feel nervous that they're going to have an overload or something. It would be pretty difficult to get one with Trail Boss. I'm not saying the potential isn't there, so definitely be careful, but Trail Boss is much more forgiving than some powders like Bullseye or Tight Group. So I hope that kind of gives you a little overview of HP-38 and Trail Boss, and thanks for watching.